As we look at these images of Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacting with the Indian delegation, with brothers from the United Arab Emirates, I also want to bring into this conversation Professor Trivedi, who joins us on this broadcast. Professor Trivedi is at this temple right now. And Professor Trivedi, why is this Prana Pratishtha so significant, not just for Hindus in Abu Dhabi, but across the world? Explain this excitement as we wait to hear Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
I'd like to, well, first of all, thank you for having me on with you to share this story, this magical moment with your viewers back in India. Now, I'd like to start with a historical lesson, if I may. Hindus have been a part of this region for about 450 years, and never before have they had a traditional stone Hindu mandir where they can pray, do puja, engage in darshan of the murtis, and practice and celebrate the festivals and rituals of Hindu Sanatan Dharma. So, I mean, this is the first time this is happening, and I think that in itself answers your question as to why this is such a magical, special moment for Hindus here in the UAE, but also for Hindus around the world.
Okay, and that image that we see on our television screen, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chipping away at that piece of stone which says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. Ayam nij paroveti ganana laghu chetasam udar charitanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. But Professor Saab, describe the atmosphere around you. It almost appears as if this is a festival in Abu Dhabi, just ahead of Prime Minister now interacting with the Indian community, the 3.5 million representatives of the 3.5 million strong Pravasi Bharatiya at the auditorium here.
Gee, so I am from New York, and I've been to 70 countries as a scholar of media and religion in the past. And I take every single opportunity to visit a Hindu mandir when I go to a new country. Never before, and I've probably seen 1,200 or 1,300 mandirs in my life, never before have I seen a mandir where two Sanskritis come together. There is this sangam, there is this union. And the word that I hear around campus from the youngest 5-year-old child that I speak to some of the senior most swamis that are here, harmony. There is this coming together of Arabic civilization and our Sanatan Hindu civilization, and you can see it in the architecture. So, for example, as you walk around the mandir, you've been to many mandirs, I'm sure, you see there's an homage paid to elephants always, because before we had cranes and machineries, these elephants were helping us build the mandirs. They were carrying the stones and lifting them and placing them in the right place. So there's always this sort of homage that we pay to elephants. In the same way, you will see kamars or lotuses always. You will always see peacocks. These are sort of the flora and fauna and animals that we've celebrated in Hindu Sanskriti in the carvings of these mandirs. For the first time, as you walk around the outer wall or the mandover of the mandir, you will see camels, you will see oryx, you will see other parts of Arabic Sanskriti, even the aesthetic designs. You will see that all of that has sort of been brought in to the architecture. It's embedded in the stone for generations to come. As you walk around, you will also see universal lessons that one can learn from ancient civilizations of the world. So the Mayan Sanskriti, the Aztec Sanskriti, the Inuit Sanskriti, even from some of the tribes in Africa. So that sort of coming together, that sort of a sangam with the Bhavya Hindu Sanatan Sanskriti is, I think, what really sets this mandir apart.
Oh, that's so beautifully described, because some of the devotees we were speaking to, they seem to indicate that this is a temple that's built on the foundation of harmony. And there is this wall of harmony at this temple too. Is harmony perhaps the biggest message that goes out? I mean, yes, we know about temples, but that's amazing that you say that along with elephants at temples here, you also see camels at temples. So it's the Sanatan Sanskriti and the Arab Sanskriti coming together, sir.
Yeah, our Guru, His Holiness Mahant Swami Maharaj, always says this mandir is not just built of stone. I mean, and you have to see it, huh? When you're here next and your viewers are here, I invite all of you to come see it. You have to see it for yourself. Nothing I say today will capture the aesthetic beauty of this mandir. But even in that, Our Guru reminds us that this mandir is not just built of stone, it's built on these foundational principles of love, tolerance, and harmony. And you can see that in the way when you walk around, you will see people of Arabic background, you will see Emirati sheikhs, you will see Hindus from around the world who have gathered. And so that harmony is not just seen or talked about in some press interview, but it's seen in the stones and the architecture, but also in the conversations that you will have with the people who have come here to celebrate the mandir.
Indeed, and now we're looking at images of Prime Minister Narendra Modi arriving at that place where he's interacting with the Shilpis who were involved in the construction of the temple. This temple symbolizes the warm ties between Bharat and the United Arab Emirates. Now, as we talk about this, describe to us the role played, one, by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the President of the United Arab Emirates, His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, apparently from 2 acres of land that were initially earmarked to 27 acres. It just shows they opened their home and their heart for this temple, sir.
First and foremost, one has to acknowledge the generosity of the rulers of this land. I mean, how else would you get such a prime piece of land, a property placed right on a highway, right between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? So it's central in its location where people can reach it from either side. It started off with something that was going to be just 2.5 acres, and then 5 acres, and then 12.5 acres, and then we're somewhere around between 26 and 27 acres now in total. So that generosity, that sort of vision that the rulers of this land have had cannot be overlooked. In fact, it needs to be celebrated as much as we are celebrating the inauguration of this temple here today. And hand in hand with that, one has to acknowledge that Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India has played an integral role because of his relationship with the rulers here in this land. And so the conversations that he's had, the sort of trust he's put in the Hindu community to sort of say, I'm going to ask for a piece of land from the rulers here, and I trust you, and specifically BAPS in particular, BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha, and the trust the Prime Minister has put into the leaders of the organization in designing and conceptualizing and now completing and inaugurating this mandir is no small thing. So again, that theme of harmony is not something that's just talked about. It's seen here in every step, in every sort of sense of the way.
Okay. Very recently, on the 22nd of January, we saw the Prana Pratishtha at the Divya Bhavya Navya Ram temple at Ayodhya. And now this Hindu temple here at Abu Dhabi. Is the younger generation, is Gen Z reconnecting with our roots? Is it rekindling that fire of faith?
That is one way to look at it. The other way that I look at it is that it's a rekindling of a sense of faith. You have to realize, where else will you find a Hindu mandir where the land is gifted by an Islamic ruler?
True.
Just listen very carefully. The land is gifted by an Islamic ruler. The chief architect is a Catholic. The foundation designer is a Buddhist. And I can keep going on and on. The project manager is a Sikh. So that sort of coming together, that confluence of people, is something that has really made this mandir happen. Now, it goes without saying that Hindu Sanatan Dharma is you said a flame or a fire. I think of it in the Sanskrit word, the jyot, is something that is vibrant, that is happening and inspiring people, not just in the UAE, not just in India, but around the world. And so where I live in America, there were massive celebrations for the Ram Mandir. Where I'm here now in the UAE, I'm seeing massive celebrations for the BAPS Hindu Mandir's inauguration. And we see that Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended both of them. So he is an integral part of this. Of course, no one is going to overlook that. We cannot sort of forget to mention that. But also the idea of bhakti, the idea of seva, the sort of foundations of Hindu Sanatan Dharma cannot be overlooked. And most importantly, every bhakta that is gathered here today, every believer who is gathered here today, every humanitarian who is gathered here today has to be celebrated in that same way, because their contributions cannot be overlooked as well.
You know, there's another message that goes out of here perhaps. When we look at the churn that's going on in parts of the region, in parts of Europe, in the same region or around the same region in West Asia, you see this grand temple at Abu Dhabi. Sir, does this not stand out as a symbol of peaceful coexistence, of peace and harmony?
If you look just not too far from here, there are massive conflicts going on, things that have shaken us as humans and just humanity at the core. And this mandir, just a few hundred kilometers away from there, now stands as a beacon of peace, tolerance, and harmony. I believe that people who will come here and visit, who will have darshan of the murtis, who will sort of bask in the aesthetic architecture and the beauty of the mandir, will come to realize that there is this feeling. I cannot explain to you because you're not here. It's something everyone has to feel. You step on the land and you feel this sense of harmony. You feel the sense of acceptance. You feel the sense of celebration of Hindu Sanatan Dharma that is at once respectful of all other religions and faiths. And that is something that I hope that all of your viewers will come to appreciate and come to experience for themselves when they travel to Abu Dhabi next.
And what we also heard was the Shanti part that was going on, and perhaps that is the need of the hour, where there is Shanti or peace all around. For joining me here on this special broadcast, Professor Trivedi, many thanks. Akshita Nand Gopal, my colleague, stay